In this video, I'm going to give you, who are in the sandwich generation, a 5-step process to adjust things now so that you can avoid conflicts with your neighboring generations in the future. In the sandwich generation, life can be pretty hard for you sometimes, and that's why I've given you in the previous videos in this series opportunities that show up for the sandwich generation. I've given you some tips for when conflicts occur. And also, I've given you a way to prioritize the generations in a way that works for you. Now, if you want to avoid conflicts in the future, the first step is to take some time to really be clear on what you want and need, what's important to you. I know you're insanely busy, but taking a bit of time now might save you a lot of time in the future. About an hour or 75 minutes taken now over the course of a few days will buy you time, but more importantly, it will buy you some peace of mind, some inner peace, because you'll be living your situation in a way that works for you. And if issues or conflicts occur anyway, then you can come back to this playlist I've created for you and use the tools I've shared. So step 1 is to block about 30 minutes and do what I'm about to describe. So start by thinking about your situation and the priorities you have at the moment. You're in the sandwich generation, so you have kids at home and you have parents that are aging, maybe declining. Depending on how young your kids are, they're going to be needing you in different ways. So take some notes right now about what's important to you, what's a priority for you regarding your parenting role. And then do the same thing regarding your aging parents. So what's important to you? What do they need? What part of that needs to come from you? How dependent or independent are they at this stage? Take some notes about that. And then take some time to think about your adult life in all its parts and what's important to you in that. So this may include a job, a relationship, some social aspects, some home stuff, and then of course some amounts of self-care. So take a few notes about that. Now, prioritizing is something that I help my clients with in Your Support Within Your Reach, the community of support where I give you individualized support to ease your caregiver journey, so long as you gift yourself the space to receive it. The link is in the description. So you've got your notes about your kids, your parents, yourself, and step 2 is to let that sit a bit for a few hours or maximum 24 hours so that it stays fresh in your mind. And when that time has passed, take another 15 minutes. Then go over your notes that you took for these 3 buckets and highlight the things that are a priority for you in the bucket with your kids, your parents, and with yourself. And when you look at that, does it seem doable the way you've highlighted things? Does that seem to be workable in your life? If you think it does, then that's great. You have your top priorities with your kids, your parents, and your life, and then you can go and live your life with those top priorities. In that case, step 3A is to actually live your life with those priorities. And if something shows up in your life and that it's not one of your identified priorities, then you can reconsider it, that maybe it doesn't have a place in your timetable. And if you think it's not doable, then step 3B is to actually see which one of these alleged priorities maybe get ditched, or maybe some of the priorities have to take turns. You and I only have 168 hours in each week, no more, no less. So if you're in this situation, maybe block another 15 minutes to reprioritize and to see what's really important to you. And you may need to manage some expectations with your parents, with your kids, with yourself, or maybe some combination. So step 4 is to block another 15 minutes to figure out what you need to communicate to whom. And then it's actually time to communicate that. So your life in the sandwich generation can be made easier if you manage relationships and priorities ahead of time before a crisis hits. And if you'd like to join Your Support Within Your Reach, the link is actually yoursupportwithinyourreach.com. But just know that there's so many emotional aspects that show up when you're balancing things with your kids, your parents, yourself, and all the things that are vying for your attention. And that's why in my next series of videos, I'm going to talk about the emotional aspects of caregiving and how you can deal with that. The first one will be about frustration. So click on the image that's on your screen, and I'll see you there.